Well, good morning. Today is beautiful outside. It's not quite hot yet, but it is getting there. You can tell I have my little readers on because I was actually working on some diamond art. These are little magnets, and they're little magnets of plants. Some of them are succulents, so they're really cool. They're very little, though. I mean, these little dots are like, it's crazy. The other thing I kind of think about too is like, you don't use all the diamond art dots, gems, I'm not sure what you call them, for all your projects. So I end up with like a ton left over. And so I researched if I could get the sticky like paper. And you can on Amazon. It's not really that expensive. So I'm thinking, how cool is it to be able to make your own pattern, to make your own things? But what you do with it, I'm not quite sure. So I'm not quite there to, sorry, that was smoky. I'm not quite sure about what to do with all that. But I just know that I don't want to throw that away. I'm trying really hard to not to be just, constantly throwing in the trash. You guys know this about me. So here's another thing where I'm thinking like these little gems, I don't even know where they come from. Like, how do they make them? Like I just know they're tiny and they give you plenty in case you accidentally spill them or you have a toddler who gets curious. So there's that. But the reason I got on today was because, it's interesting how much food is pushed into our mind all the time. So this morning I woke up and I was like, do I fast today? It's Thursday. Typically Wednesday and Thursday are my easiest days to fast because I don't need to focus on dinner with Donnie. And so, and Friday can be, it's just that we're usually gigging, which means that we might be at a new restaurant or place that might have something great to eat, right? So depending on that, or depending on when I'm eating my meal. So as of the last 2 months, I have been probably just eating one meal a day. Sometimes I have a little afternoon snack, which can be like an avocado, can be a banana, something with potassium, hopefully. And then once in a while, it's an egg. So yesterday I did hard-boiled eggs so that I could easily grab one in the event that I'm like, all of a sudden I drop and my food, and my hunger, I should say, is just real high. I'm not opposed to pushing through that though. So, according to the scale, I actually didn't need to fast this week. I had planned to for 3 days, but I really don't need to. I think I'm like at a really good, manageable balance right now. To me, it's obvious that I definitely am still going to focus on losing, but it is a journey and it is not something to be taken fast, because when you drop fast, usually that means you have just dehydrated yourself. That's just how it works. And so I'm working real hard on making sure that I'm not dehydrating myself, and that's what I see on the scale. So anyways, so I'm sitting here, I'm doing my diamond art. I have about 10-ish minutes before my next exchange. And I like to watch Frasier. It's an old 80s or 90s. I don't even know when it came out, but I love the dad, the grandpa. I don't know. I wish I had a grandpa. I wish he was my grandpa. He's just is traditionally stuck in the old ways and just very kind and wise, and he likes to fish. Anyways, the show is humorous, and I don't do a lot of comedy. I really like thrillers, horror, suspense, mystery. But I do like watching Frasier because it's like calm somehow to my brain. They're at a different level of excitement and humor and calm and drama. and they're just funny. So anyways, I'm watching it on Pluto, and so what happens? These commercials kick in. And again, today I woke up and I thought, maybe I'll fast today. I'm not really hungry. And then they show this commercial for, I think it was McDonald's. McDonald's has brought back their bagel breakfast. And they tell you, you deserve to have the most important meal of the day. Okay, so and the slogans, it really makes you feel like, yes, I do deserve this. But at the same time, I'm like, if you look at it and think about it, one, I'm not even hungry. But two, do I deserve this meal? Because I'm not hungry. So it looks delicious. And there's a little piece of my brain that thinks, I should go get one. Why not? They're 2 for $5. I could get one for me and get one for Charlie's mom. It's easy. And then I try to combat that with really ridiculous things like, do I want to get in the car? Do I want to go outside? Do I have time to do this? Will I regret this? You know, these are the kind of thoughts that I get when I'm faced with something like this. As of recently, because I only eat twice a day, or basically once a day, I think, is this what I want to waste my food on? And even though those kind of seem ridiculous, it's a great way to stop yourself from that immediate desire. Because I think we have all been programmed to react. In fact, I was thinking, you know what's interesting is you a lot of times have to get breakfast at a fast food place before 11. So that makes you try to get that deal before it expires, perhaps when you're not even hungry. What a weird manipulation. This has been going on for years and years and years. This is how they hook us in. And then as little kids, we're like, I want to go to McDonald's. I want to have the breakfast bagel. It looks good. I look at that and I think, oh, but I bet it tastes good. Then your mind starts to reason with why you want to have it. So nonetheless, I'm not going to go get it. But now it's kind of in my head. And I'm not hungry. That is the God honest truth. I am not hungry. So funny how that was just one commercial. Coming up after that was like an Applebee's commercial. Then there was a Burger King commercial. I mean, it just keeps getting thrown at us. And I think right now, because also I'm not poor, but I'm not rich either. And I think a lot of people are in that middle ground where we're just making it, but we can't overspend. So when we see these deals, we're like, let's swoop in and get it because it's cheaper to eat 2 for $5 bagels than sometimes it seems like if we go to the steakhouse and get the $30 steak. Now, when I worked full-time in retail, when I didn't have Ben because I share child custody with his dad, so we would do the 1 week on, 1 week off. So on the weeks that I didn't have him, I would order online because it was such a new thing. Or was it Texas Roadhouse, which was just down the street. So I would order my ribeye steak, some seasoned vegetables, mashed potatoes, because that is my weakness, potatoes. And I would go pick it up, and I think would tip it or everything, whatever at the end of that, it was like maybe $20, $22, something like that. Now, you're not walking out of there with that meal under 30. So yeah, times have changed and things are much different. So I understand why families run out and get the deals. My family, I would take them to Taco Bell because they had that $5 box, which had a burrito and a couple tacos, and then, like the kids would just share that. And it came with a drink, and the kids would share that. So there'd be one box for me that I would also share with Ben, and then there'd be the other box that the kids would share, something like that. And it's crazy how you just go for those deals, and you may not even be hungry. So crazy. Anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about today. It just kind of caught my eye, and I thought, what a crazy world we live in. So what are some things that you guys do to avoid dipping into some of that stuff that we're not supposed to eat? Or what do you think you could start to do that could help you not dip into those things we shouldn't eat? Think about it. Think about some of the things that you could do to kind of change that. And it's hard because we're bombarded by it, so I totally understand that. But every time you say no, the next time it's a little easier. So, all right, talk to you guys later. Drink your water. Bye-bye.